Now we're live on the internet. Don't say anything you wouldn't say in front of your grandma on the internet. And we're going to get started. Okay, thanks everybody for coming to the product meetup. Today we're going to talk about the next release, which we've talked about a few times already. We've got a video for you to see, and we've got some developments that we can talk about. But most of today will be feedback, question and answer session, the huge. So I think we've talked about the next release a few times already. But before we get started, let's go over who's on stage. Dave, why don't you give us a kickoff here?
Sure. Hi, I'm Dave, software engineer.
I was Alex, product manager.
Galileo, community manager.
Lacey, marketing specialist.
Bina, UI engineer.
Ooh. I wish I could. I'm gonna start calling myself community engineer because I like the sound of that.
That sounds kind of like
Uh huh.
oh,
Dystopian.
authoritarian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can do it. Go
Maybe
for it.
maybe community architect. Then I sound like
That
I'm from the
works.
Matrix.
Yeah, that one works.
Just
Oh,
don't call yourself social engineer.
yeah, I'm a social engineer. The Sansar socialist. Some sort of. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. Where are we going first? We've got a little video to show you all. I should probably move since I've got a huge flippin' avatar. Okay. Let me go ahead and pop this up here. What do we, Bina? We're going to be showing the video. Do you want to introduce it before I get started?
Sure. I'm sure we've probably mentioned this before in product meetups, but we're introducing the ability to pick an instance of a particular experience or event if there's multiple instances. So there has to be multiple instances. I guess if there's one instance, you'll still be able to see the single instance, but it's less useful when there's only one instance. But this is going to be really useful when there's large events and you can't find your friends or you all want to be together. So this way now you can share your instance with other people via chat, or you can all talk about, hey, let's go join this instance together and join it through the UI. Oops.
And why did we decide to do this? What was?
I think it's just so that you can hang out with your friends when there's multiple instances.
Aw, that sounds so
Yeah, that
nice.
was
Okay.
kind of a problem before. You couldn't find each other. You had to keep rejoining and looking around.
And this video also has a bit of an Easter egg for something else we've been working on. I'll see if anybody else notices it, Bina, and then you can explain it.
Okay.
That sounds like an exciting way to do this video.
Yeah, so the video is just showing there's an event in progress. Click the codex, you can see there's an instance. You can share the instance you're in by clicking that button and pasting it in chat. And then it will direct you to the instance link. And then you can also copy an instance if there's multiple instances you all want to join together. You can directly join an instance, and you can drop a portal. So if you're all trying to travel to an event in a group, make sure you get in the same instance. That's
Yeah, very exciting. That's
Yay.
super fun. How long did we work on that? What was that difficult, easy to do?
Yeah, there's some difficulties. We still have some additional polished features we'd like to add. We're not able to display instance count right now in the codex, so I think we're going to work on that so that you don't have to click the detail page to see how many instances there are. We also have ideas for future features, but we'd like to hear some feedback on what we've done after we release it.
Okay. Perfect. So that's exciting. Did anybody else notice what was going on in that video? This might not be super obvious because it just looked like another avatar. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So the avatar that we had there had a new, I guess outfit, and we have a bunch of those outfits. And Bina, go ahead and explain what's going on with that.
Oh yeah, our art team, our studios team, I don't know, Alex might even know more about it since he's with them, but they've built a bunch of new outfits and masks and sort of mix and match for your default avatars now, and I think they're going to start showing up in your carousel when you're a new user, but also you'll just have these options to choose from editing your avatars. So just some fun outfits and masks to party in.
So we have these what I would call Sansar normcore outfits now, which everybody knows as the newbie outfit, the sort of the futuristic looking uniform thing. But now people will be getting more concert appropriate attire, I guess. Although I would go to a concert in that other stuff. So we'll see a lot more diversity of avatars running around. The place will definitely look a little bit more like you would see at a big EDM festival. So that's pretty exciting. Other news on the music front, while we're talking about it, we do have some other talks in place. We have a couple of new artists coming in soon, and we're moving a little bit away from EDM. I think I can say this. We're currently courting a heavy metal band, and that will be a really interesting new type of music to try out in Sansar, because I'm not sure exactly how it would work, but it'll be more than just EDM, because I know I've heard from everybody's like, are we just a techno platform now? And so the answer is no. We're working with other types of folks.
I'm curious what the cording process for a metal band is like.
Oh, I know. And and what are we gonna build for them? Because right now, like when you have like a techno, stuff and EDM, it's a lot of neon. I think Monster Cat is unique because it's like very rooted in this sort of Mayan aesthetic. But like, what is metal band gonna look like? Is there gonna be like blood? That's gonna be anyway. Sorry, I'm gonna get nerd out over it. Is there gonna be blood everywhere? Is that what's gonna happen? Okay, what else do we have coming up? We've talked about the next release a little bit, so why don't we recap that, and let's see if we can find a date. Do we know when that's going to be coming out, Zayas?
Yeah, we're shooting for the 4th. Hopefully, tentatively, looking at the 4th right now.
July 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. And if we wanted to really get ahead of ourselves, we'd probably try it on February 4th. So that's exciting. And just as a reminder, things we've talked about in the new release will be a new emote system. I think the instance picker's coming out in the next one. Abina, do you want to talk about event editing a little bit?
Oh yeah, there's a minor release, web release that we put out, I think yesterday, which will fix the annoying modal for event hosts. If you create an event and you want to update your access list, there used to be a modal that would say you can't do this because you don't have an image associated with your event. So we kind of, on the back-end website, we just automatically added a default image. So that you'll never see that modal again. But also, when you're looking at your My Worlds list, you can differentiate between what's an event world and what's a regular world. It used to just be no codex image, and so that would get confusing if you had a lot of copies and things like that. So hopefully it helps in two ways.
Great. Okay, cool. What else do we have coming up? I've got a few things that are sneakily coming up here. The folks in the Comet program have earned enough points to give the community, everybody, the entire user base, its first reward. So you all will be seeing that pop up, and as soon as I can get it implemented, you'll have something new in your backpack to play with, which will be fun. And then, thanks to everybody for supporting those community events and still creating events and doing a bunch of stuff. Everybody's been working really hard on that, and as I mentioned in Discord, we've been loving the marketing everybody's been doing for their events. As I mentioned in Discord, Alfie made some cool videos. Daisy's been making cool videos. Firegoat's been making it for a long time. I'm not going to be able to mention everybody, but those are so great, everybody, and I think that's the way to start bringing folks into the platform, is showing them that we're doing cool stuff. The nice thing is, like, we can't make videos on our own a lot because we've got other stuff to do. So when you guys are sort of helping the cause, you're helping the entire platform. Rising tide raises all boats. DNA has also made quite a few. That's right. Okay, so just wanted to thank you all for that. What else do we have? I think that's...
Got the emote system coming out in the next release too. We've spieled about that a few times. But for those that haven't heard about it, it's going to give you a new menu for your emote system. Same shortcut as before, Control E to open it. But we're also giving you the number row keys to use as shortcuts for any emotes, and you can reassign those numbers to any emote on the fly in runtime. You don't need to go back to the character editor. You can even buy an emote while you're in a scene and apply it, give it a shortcut, and play it live without ever having to leave or go to the character editor or anything like that. Um, so yeah, I'll be really curious to hear what you guys think about that and how it works, and if you like it, and what you might want different in the next release.
Woo woo. Okay.
Oh, and then the fast follow to that too, I also wanted to spiel about a bit, is we are making a script API to be able to drive which animations are on your avatar. I'm probably not megaphoned if Zero G's is asking. But basically, a scene or scripts in a scene or some interactable object will be able to drive animations on your character, so you can start doing. We had some really cool ideas yesterday. I think I got to keep a couple of them in the back pocket just because they're really cool. But some ideas that we shared in the past are like a dance floor that when you walk onto it, you just start dancing, or you press a button and something starts happening to your avatar, or even like maybe let's say the DJ wants to ask everyone if they want to start a dance. He can press a button that asks everyone if they want to dance, and then everyone's dancing in sync together. And that's kind of the cool part of this, is it's going to allow us to start synchronizing these animations between different people. So if you want to get two different like sets of a tango dance going together, this script API will help you start and synchronize that whole process. Yes, exactly. Couples dancing and things like that are in the very near future.
Ooh, cute. And if you have like, if you're in an open relationship, somebody can develop an emote system where there's many people dancing at the same.
Oh my
at the
goodness.
same- What? I'm not trying to judge. I'm just trying to open up those options. Okay. Anyways, the sign above my head. If anybody wants to join a couples dance with me, don't know if that's gonna work. I think that's it. Am I missing anything, you guys? Let me see.
Bunch of miscellaneous bug fixes and quality of life improvements here and there.
Ooh, let's talk about how we improved people's lives real quick.
There's one nice feature coming. I don't know if it's going to come immediately in 39, but it's going to come in a point release probably right after 39 for Edit World, where you'll be able to copy and paste entire vectors, XYZ, color, rotation values, and paste them directly into another object. So you don't have to like copy X, copy Y, paste Y, but copy Z, paste Z, and do that for position and rotation. You can literally just copy position and rotation and paste that all in one fell swoop to another object. It's got some gotchas, but all in all, it's a huge improvement over what you guys have to do right now.
Ooh,
little things like
fancy.
Yeah, and we'll have more coming, just like that, both for Edit World and Real Life World that you guys are playing around in. Most notably, the sign y'all are holding is coming to a release near you.
Probably release 40, is that?
Yeah, it might slip a little bit, but yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay. And whenever we say release 39 or 40, you guys, that's the year it'll happen. So 2039,
My
2040. Just in case you were curious, and if we beat that, then we're outperforming. So
no, but seriously, we're on release 38 right now. The one we're talking about coming out in the next couple weeks tops is 39, and then probably another month or so after that would be 40, which is where you'd see the volume controls.
Completely ruined my joke, but
yeah, I know. I'm too literal. I need to let people know.
Well, it's a good thing because this month it's signs, next month it's pitchforks.
Emissive pitchforks.
Emissive pitchforks would be cool. I could use one for my devil character. Okay, I think that's all we. Oh no, we talked about EDM avatars. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's go ahead and do the questions and answers. We've got about 40 minutes of pure answer session happening. I hope everybody's excited. One of the challenges. The rules for asking questions. As a reminder, we want all questions to be in the chat so we can easily track them and answer them just in case we can't get to them while the product meetup's happening, just in case somebody's not here or we need to look into something. So please put all of your questions in the chat. Looks like people are doing that already. And if we need a quick follow-up on something, we will go ahead and give you the thumbs up to use your voice to clarify a question. This also goes for folks on Twitch, YouTube, or Steam that are watching. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We've got an aggregator that collects all your comments, and we have somebody watching that.
It's me.
Oh, and a person that's an aggregator as well as a program that aggregates. So that's wonderful. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first important question is Disney Huntress. Question for events: can it be made so that if, say, I'm in my event world, the event is not live, that people can't stalker button TP to me, please?
We might be able to do that. Yeah, I wrote it down. I'll look into it, or at least pass it off to the person who can.
And what's the problem we're trying to solve there is, just so everybody understands the context of the question, is what, Disney?
Oh, if an event isn't live yet and you're actually actively in the event space taking a look at it to make sure it's all good, people can stalker button to you in a closed event space
Gotcha.
that is not live. Yeah, not cool.
And we don't like that. Okay, thank you.
No.
Just
Thank
wanted to
you.
make sure we understand. All right, that was also just for anybody who's new to Sansar. We do not have something technically labeled stalker button, just in case you thought that was a feature. It's not what that is. It's just so you know. Okay, and next up, Harmonic asks. Question: if you really want us to run away, you can ask. There's no need to bring heavy metal trash in here. How about jazz or blues or normal rock, classic and such?
I said in the chat, if you know any classic or jazz musicians, I'm totally down to look at that. And if you play classical or jazz, totally come in.
If you found heavy thrash metal rock players, I'm sure you can find classic players or something.
Harmonic, I will perform a show with my tuba for you.
For example, your show, when you play on the guitar, is much better than the heavy metal, so why you need this in here?
You and El Diablo
thank you.
Claven need to have some sort of fight, because this is right up El Diablo's alley. He's got a bunch of heavy metal stuff already. I was actually bouncing around in his experiences the other day trying to find some good venues for the band. That's news for you, El Diablo. I hope you enjoyed that bit of information. But yeah, we do have we're trying to work with as many artists as we can. There's somebody machine gun typing somewhere.
Sorry, that's me.
Okay.
It's always me.
So we're working with we're talking to a bunch of different artists that are different than EDM and heavy metal, or thrash metal, which is I think the correct version of trash metal, Harmonic. And we'll see if we can get other folks in here. In the meantime, apparently, if you weren't at the Granddad Got Mojo comeback tour last night, you missed a great concert. He sounded great. I wish I had seen it myself. If anybody has a
It
video,
was amazing.
I'd love to see
Yeah.
I did miss it, but it's on YouTube and it's amazing.
it's on
Yeah.
the tubes. Okay, if anybody can
It's really
paste that in the chat, that'd be great. So we have a lot of thrash metal artists in Sansar already, so make sure you're going to those concerts and supporting them. I've also seen the multi-item tip system being implemented in several places, thanks to Nikki for implementing that first and setting a good standard there. The multi-item tip system, if you don't know, is where you put many different items that you can buy for different amounts in a concert scene or whatever you're trying to get tips for. It could be in your store, and people can buy them once. And if you have like a whole shelf of them, people can tip as much as they want, as up to whatever amounts you set. So I was in Blush's store the other day, and she had a bunch of jars that you could buy, and those jars were worth different amounts of Sansar dollars. So good workaround in case you hadn't heard about it yet. Feel free to ask Nikki, Blush, me, or anybody in Discord how that works. Okay, next. Let's see. Ellie Monk. Can materials be copied and pasted?
Between different objects, like in Edit World, set everything up on one object and paste it together.
Yeah, if you're building, obviously I'm building from sort of like walls that I got from Marketplace and building a building. Can I copy and paste it from one to the other? Okay.
No, not at the moment.
Could that be implemented at all?
It depends on the licensing options that you have on those pieces that you bought. So if you don't have the permissions to modify anything, even if we did implement a feature that would allow you to change the textures, you wouldn't have the permission to.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. They are mine, so yeah. Can you, if you can?
Yeah, I can look into it.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay, great. Next we have Majeka asks, is there a simple script for emissive control?
I don't believe there is one, but Bina, I think, mentioned that there are some scripts on the store that do control that, but it would be worth us probably adding one, considering we support that feature now.
There's scripts in the store, and just pinged again. This is a sample script that you can tinker with if you're a tinkerer.
For new creators or non-creators, what exactly, what's the context of that question and the solution?
It's a script that would allow you to adjust the emissive intensity of an object, maybe over time or just instantaneously, so you can make something glow brighter or less. And we recently exposed an API which allows you to control that, and generally when we release or expose an API, we also create a simple script, which are little one-off scripts that we bundle with the installations so that you guys have all the basic tools. And I just don't think we ever created a simple script for that API.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Daisy Gator asks, any chance of getting Houdini asset support in the future?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Okay.
Dave, is that possibly something you might know about?
Well, we're pretty well married to FBX, so if we get some samples of Houdini FBXs, we could probably look into it.
Okay.
I assume that's the Houdini you're talking about.
Daisy, feel free to follow up and chat. She says, cool, thank you. And also okay with the tongue out face. Okay. Nikki asks, are we able to get adjusters for hair? I think that's just a salon in real life, Nikki. You can go find one.
What are you looking for there, though? Feel free to use voice.
Nikki?
I don't think she's here, but I think one of what she's talking about is that some of the hairs are too big for the head, and if you could just hit the adjust button, so like the clothes.
Oh, okay. Scale or rotate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so you mean like the two little arrows in the worn items panel? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that work for anything rigged?
Not sure it does. I thought that was just MD.
Yeah.
But worth looking into nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. We'd have to do something like move it and then reskin it the way that we auto skin MD and hair to the morph skeleton.
If hair
It
was
works for
rigged to a
attachments.
separate bone,
Yeah, I can do it
then
with bracelets.
you could move the bone.
Or necklaces.
Well, we could look into it. I'm not sure we're gonna have a perfect answer for you guys right now, but it's a good point. Yeah, if your head's a funky shape or your hair's weird, it doesn't quite always fit.
Yeah, and bracelets and necklaces are different because if they're in the accessories tab, then they're not
It's
actually.
not funky. It's the hair that's funky.
But yeah, the items in the accessories tab, you can move it, but if it's in the clothing tab, you generally can't unless it's MD because of the way that it tracks the body.
Okay. So we'll find a better answer for that later, maybe. Okay, next. Morgan. I think I said it right this time. Silas, you can feel free to yell at me. Morgan asks a question. Why the release page in help is no longer updated? That's me. I just haven't been doing it, so I'll have to go back to that. The short answer is I forgot. Lucas Lionheart says, block button. Could we get it so it also blocks the person in local chat?
It's being worked on.
Medhu asks, is the population count permanently broken? Should we all make our experience crash people to get our population counts up? Or is the goal to send people to the most crashy places?
Caught us, Medhu. No.
So, I mean, yes, the population count is currently broken. I don't know if it's permanently broken. What are we aware of that problem, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
being looked into for sure.
Okay, because we fixed it at one point and then it went back. Okay, so we're looking into it, Matthew. I don't know what the answer is. The goal is not to send people to the most crashy places. I don't know if that was a rhetorical question, but I don't think anybody here wants that. Zero Cheese asks, this is probably already going to be part of the UI changes. However, I just want to confirm, will there be an addition to folders to the inventory in the editor at some point soon, please, at least so I can organize stuff per world I want to use items in. It's rough right now.
I hate to burst your bubble, man, but the UI overhaul actually completely ignores Edit World for the first version, so nothing's actually really going to change in Edit World. It's all going to be more runtime play UI that's changing, like chat and using the main menu and the codecs and stuff like that. And that's simply because there are more people playing than there are building. Granted, the builders are what keep the players here, so the fast follow to that is also touching up Edit World. But I just wanted to be honest with you about where that's lining up.
Yeah, believe me, I would love to do that too, but it's not soon.
Okay, sorry about that. It will be coming then as a fast follow-up, as Alex said. Asha Sakai Ross asks, question from Discord. I've noticed that fees are still at 60% when converting Sansars to dollars. I thought that was supposed to be 30% fees until 2020. When will this be fixed? Sorry, Evo, I didn't see your question. But go ahead and let's answer this one real quick. I know we're actively working on that. Lacey, do you know? Did you know?
Yeah, it's actually being looked into. Like, this is what I've been doing for most of the week. So we are looking into it and should have some updates soon.
I honestly, it's the fix is going to be happening any moment. I thought it was going to be done this week. It might still be, but we're actively looking into it and trying to figure out the best way to roll that out. But yeah, that's happening. So if you are cashing out, just don't do it yet and wait until that fix comes through. Just hold on to it. Okay. Adam asks, could the items from the backpack be persistent in the world in the future? For instance, placing furnitures in a house.
Yeah, so the intention with the backpack system is to expand it to the point where each scene can define its own rule set and even its own contents for the backpack, and even have scripted control of that backpack, so that you could say in your scene, anyone can spawn all these things that I've decided to put in the backpack, let's say baseballs and baseball bats and bowling pins and whatever, and they'll stay around for 24 hours because that's what I want to have happen. And after a user completes this quest in my scene, they unlock the super awesome sword that now they can use in their backpack. That's the intent for the whole backpack system, is to let you have full control in your scene of what is in the backpack and when people get access to it and how long it exists in the scene.
Awesome. Okay. Evo, let's go ahead and get your question then. Will scenes have attached animations to them so we can script them, i.e. non-avatar owned animations?
I think that is a good topic for us to get into in the next product meetup when we got Stretch back here. He's the one actively working on that right now, and he's actually making some of those decisions probably as we speak. So we'd have better answers next time if you want to bring that question back to us. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thanks, Eva. We'll get it next time. Make sure you're back next time, which will be in 2 weeks. Maybe maybe we can. I know it's a long time to wait, Evo. So maybe if you ask in Discord, we can find an answer for you as well. Next, when the can you hear me? Okay. When the individual volume. Sorry, what does this say? Sorry, I'm trying to. Okay, Taz is asking, when the individual volume controls, when are they happening? And is there any possibility to make a greater limit on accessories and clothes rather than 5 and 1? The face editor doesn't work on any avatar you buy, and that would be a nice if changed as well. Oh, so this is a lot of feedback. Okay. Blocking would be nice if we wouldn't see the ones typing in nearby chat as well. Editing a world with someone in it would be nice if that would be possible as well. So Taz had six things, six different suggestions there. So those are all good feedback. Thanks, Taz. Love the feedback. I don't think there was an actual question in there, but we have all your feedback recorded. Okay. Love Some People asks, love me some people. Love me so people. Hello. Is it possible Is it possible to have a reset button in build mode for the scene settings window? Sometimes we want to go back to the default settings, and currently there's no way to reset the values.
Values for the UI panels, or for what exactly? Sorry, I didn't quite understand.
Love me some people. I don't actually know where you are. So if you can clarify in whatever chat you're in, we'll pick it up. Did that, Lacey, did that come from in-world?
Okay, well, I might not be understanding the question correctly, but there is an option in the settings menu, which you can get to by the dot 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 on the left, and then settings. And if you scroll about halfway down that list in the general section, there's a option to reset panel positions, and that will reset every UI panel to its default position. So if you've lost something off screen like that, that'll bring it back. I don't know if that answers your question though. So feel free to ping us again.
Yep. Go ahead and clarify. I don't know where that question came from. So, we'll find you in chat. Okay. Evo, we just answered that. I think we've hit the bottom of our questions. I think Zero had no. I'm seeing. Lacey, are you there? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick these questions up myself. Blush asks, where are we? Nope. Yeah, Majeka asks, will there be a cap on how many items there can be in the backpack? Could there even be folders in the backpack?
Scope creep. Yeah, slippery slope. Talking about folders and folderception inside of a backpack now. So I'm not sure what the limits are right now for the scene level backpacks. As you've probably noticed with our own backpack, we tried to keep it somewhat limited so that you don't have like several rows and lines and have to scroll. Granted, if it's your scene, do whatever you want. I don't think we were intending on implementing any sort of limits. Granted, now that I say that, we probably should. It's a good question. I probably need to think about that some more.
Okay. Lacey, are you talking and I can't hear you?
Yeah, I've been talking.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Now I can hear you. That was weird.
Weird.
Okay. So I added some other questions here then. Somebody asked, with the emotes or in-world emotes, objects will... Good gracious. Okay. With the emotes or in-world emotes, objects will that work with accessories or lookbook items being able to have a... I don't know what that means.
I think they're asking if like objects can drive animations.
Okay,
And
okay.
No, you can't have scripted objects attached to you that you bring into scenes that control other people's avatars, if that's what you're asking.
Alrighty.
Yeah, AO is animation override.
Gotcha. Okay, and then follow-up, Zero Cheese asks, Alex, with the custom backpack items in our world, will we also have the ability to limit how many items someone can res out said object as well?
Yeah, possibly. All up to how we design the API. But honestly, if you have a list of things that you would like to be able to control with the backpack, it wouldn't hurt to send that my way, and we can use that as food for thought.
Okay. Daisy asks, I've been in contact with Marvelous Designer about the zipper and button problem. They told me yesterday they expect a patch within a week. Will Sansar then implement the patch also so buttons and zippers work as intended again? Because it seems you need to update some settings too.
Yes, every time we get every time Marvelous Designer fixes a bug in their API, they send us a new version of the API and we integrate it, usually the next release or the next point release.
Okay, so there's some a little bit of lag between what Marvelous does and what we do, depending on the patch.
Yep, but they're usually really quick about it.
Okay, cool. Matthew asks, when are categories coming? Alex asked categories for Worlds, and then he also told Matthew that's a Bowden question. Bowden's not here right now, so we don't know yet. We'll see if Bowden can give us an answer later.
I know it's something we're thinking about. I just don't know when he was intending on plugging that in.
I haven't seen it on the roadmap yet, so...
Me neither, but I know that in product we've been talking about categories for Worlds. I just can't speak to when or if.
Okay. Great. Love Some people from Twitch. I don't know who that person actually is, so sorry, Love Some. They were talking about the scene settings values, sliders, skybox, gravity, and all those settings to have an entire reset for that window to get back to default settings, not window position.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Understandable. Yeah, you've played around with those settings, and now it's all garbly gook, and you don't know how to get it back to normal. Yep. All right. I'll write it down. Thanks for the info.
Thanks, Love Some.
Delete your local apps folder. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna edit that out of the video. Okay, and then Taz asks, when are we getting categories for clothing and accessories?
Don't have a good answer for that right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, no good categories questions. Disney says as a fix, I use keywords in my places so people can search them. So if people type romantic, 5 of my places come up. It's not a category, but it's something for now. That's a good community solution. So if you want people to find want people to find your places, it might be smart to think about searchable tags. Timey asked, question, can we have a build time way to test the scripts you put into an experience, please?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Go ahead, Timey.
So instead of having to build every time and figure out whether the script's working, we can test what we've done within the build time.
Just to the script specifically, like only build the script side of things?
Yeah, well, we put scripts in, we set them, we have to go through all the process of building the scene to find out that the script doesn't work, to go back in to test it and make tiny little changes.
Yep. Yeah. We have that same problem too. For right now, my best bit of advice to you is get all your scripts working in a simple scene. And if you don't have a simple scene that you're trying to pump scripts into, turn off things like GI and audio reverb so that the build process is much quicker while you're just iterating on scripts. And then once all the scripts are hunky-dory, then pump those GI values and reverb back up and rebuild with all of that. And then you don't have to spend so much time on the build iteration. Granted, I hear you that it still takes a long time. So
yeah, well, that's fine. But yeah, like I've got laser tag running, and that was, 50, 60 scripts to get all functioning at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem with the simplified scene testing. Then when you mix it into your big scene with many other scripts, there's other issues.
There be dragons.
Yeah. It'd be great if we could get like a wireframe render that's like no lights, no nothing, just wireframes. But dreams.
Yeah, we've also kicked around the idea of like a minimized build process that only builds what actually changed, or even like only build the scripts, or only run physics. Don't even worry about scripts or lighting or anything like that. None of that's on the roadmap that I can speak to, but yeah, we are talking about it, and it does pain us too internally when we're building our own stuff. So that's a squeaky wheel, if nothing else.
Alrighty. Louv asks, I missed the beginning of the meeting. Will VR emote issues previously mentioned be sorted in the next release?
So we're still trying to fix that issue with the floating hands. It has to do with the camera not moving with your avatar appropriately. We still pop you out to third person when you're sitting in a chair, or if you choose an emote. So I wouldn't say that we necessarily fixed all of the issues. We've tried to combat a few of them, but like I said earlier, I'm going to be really curious to get you guys' feedback once the emote system comes out.
I'd really like to not be thrown into third person.
Sorry, can you say it again?
I'd really like to not be thrown into third person. Part of the experience of being in VR is feeling like you're actually...
Yeah, and for some emotes, that's fine. It's for some other emotes, that's just totally not okay. Like if you have a backflip emote that's labeled thumbs up and someone flies that in VR, they're going to go along for a pretty fun ride. So it's an option that we could potentially expose to super users like you that are like, you know what, I'm a veteran. Yeah. I'm cool with getting thrown around in
Absolutely.
VR.
I don't get seasick at all.
Yeah, exactly. So we can cross that bridge, but it's definitely a super user thing for people like you. It's not your average Joe that wants that sort of roller coaster every time they choose to dance.
I've also noticed that my legs always seem very bent a lot of the time in VR when I put my arms down by my side.
Have you tried remeasuring your height?
Yes, I've done it many times, and
Okay.
it comes out with the same results. So,
Okay.
and it's pretty much been there since we got full body view in VR.
Okay. Well, I might need
Yeah.
to just pull you aside one-on-one and just talk to you about what kind of setup you have and how just what your setup is and how we might be able to alleviate some of those issues.
Which headset?
I'm using the Rift. I'm sitting down, and I got my trackers, 2 in front and 1 behind.
Okay. Sitting down is probably part of it.
I do sit down a lot for what I do.
Louv, we'll need you to stay
Not
after
looking too
class.
bad today.
Yeah.
So see us after class and bring your essay up to the front so we can talk about
Well,
it.
I'm just saying, information like I'm sitting down is helpful for figuring out what's going on and fixing it.
Okay. Ikunis asks, well, first he says, greetings to all, which is a really nice way to open a question. Thanks, Ikunis. Greetings to you. Question, there's the possibility that in the area of build worlds you can work as a team at the same time or give permission. So we're talking about collaborative building. Is that, have we made any progress on that?
No. Other than talking about it and wishing it was a thing, but we don't have any intentions on building that out immediately.
Okay. That's the last question I have. So, folks, if you want to take 3 more minutes to follow up on stuff or think of other questions, you can ask them about anything. It can be about the product. It can be about what's going on with different events. You can yada, yada, yada. Up to you guys. And if I don't hear a question within 15 seconds, I'm playing Meatloaf.
Oh goodness. Somebody ask something quick.
Zero actually has an interesting question. What have we not talked about today that we might be able to hint at? What are some teasers that we can give that we haven't spoken about yet?
I'm working on a searchable drop-down that hopefully I can get into Edit World. So that, when you're adding a script and you have a huge list of scripts and you have to scroll through it.
So good.
Yeah.
I have no idea how many scripts I have on my list.
I figure. You and the Sansar Studios team.
There are literally thousands upon thousands of scripts in the Sansar Studios, and trying to find,
It won't be in the next release, but maybe a point release or the one after.
Cool.
I'm working on. Well, the marketing team is working on that heavy metal band, and I think that's virtually a lock. So, what happens when we have an artist coming in. We host new collections. We look for different worlds and that kind of thing. So, if you were like, what should I make? I don't have any good ideas of what people will buy or what's going to be put in the collections. You always ask for some heads up when something's happening. So this is your heads up. El Diablo's got a good head start on that stuff, but heavy metal stuff would be really cool to see. It would also bring a new aesthetic, and also this band has a lot of fantasy elements as their aesthetic, like orcs and that kind of thing, and swords, just to give you a good idea of what they might be looking for. Taz asks, is there any possibility to implement editing for another avatar heads, custom avatar heads? Custom avatar heads.
I actually just asked Stretch about this, and what it would take is any custom avatar that was built by a user would have to be rigged up to all 200-300 face bones or whatever it is in order for that face morphing system to actually work. So assuming they could do that and do it properly, then you could, but realistically that's no easy feat.
Yeah. And then we'd have to extend the import pipe to actually be user-facing to support all that. So it is possible, but it's not a priority right now.
I guess somebody asked this earlier. I don't see the question here, but I remember it coming up this week. What is the status of the body sliders? Yeah. Are we working on... Sorry, did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I did. I thought Dave was going to answer because that's more up his alley.
Okay. Nobody's working on that right now, and I don't know if it's going to be on the schedule anytime soon.
Okay. I think that's it. I think those are all the big questions. We've got 11 minutes left, everybody. So, if you had any small questions right now, well, there's no small questions, but if you had anything you wanted to ask, this is your time. We're going to be hanging out for 10 minutes or so, and there's a lot of you here. So, skin textures, are they in release 39?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
So they're close enough where it's a possibility.
No, I think we're slated for 41 on that one.
Okay, so that would be a couple
more releases, yeah.
Couple more releases. That's 2043, Blush. We also have, while we're waiting for people to ask questions, we also have a super exciting Roddenberry event tonight. If folks want to show up to that, we're going to be starting a little earlier than the time suggests because we have a special guest coming in, and we'll have to get started right at 7. So it won't be one of those things where we wait for 10 minutes before we start. So it's about The Cage, the original pilot for the original series. So hope to see some of you there. We have a film critic named Scott Mance coming in, who's also a Star Trek expert. Seems like a fun guy. And then we also have another Roddenberry event coming up in February, where we have I guess a sex therapist coming in to talk about how relationships work in Star Trek and the philosophy that Star Trek had about relationships in the future. So that'll be really interesting. Okay, let's see if there's any questions coming up. Not Dr. Ruth. I don't know who this woman is. Her name is Bianca White, I believe. But I've never heard of her before. But the Roddenberry people are big fans of her. Thea9 is in Bangkok, in case anybody is worried about him. What about the zoom on the smiles in the nearby chat? They're pretty small. So emojis are pretty small. Can we fix that?
Yeah, part of the UI refresh is going to be like making sure that all the text is readable and pumped up a bit. But that'll be out probably, I don't know, next quarter.
Oh, nice. Okay. Zero is shamelessly pitching Digital University right now. So if you want to go role play like you're in college, which is actually pretty exciting sounding, that'd be a fun thing to do. Also, those classes are super helpful. So event hosting 101's happening tonight at Digital University. What else do we have coming up? We have a big Monster Cat show on the 15th of February that's not on the calendar yet, so get ready for that. I believe the Roddenberry folks are working on expanding the Roddenberry Nexus, which is pretty exciting, so that'll be new. I think that's literally all the information that I have. Ikunis asks, second proposal, could there be an option to share the link of the scene to edit so that at a different time a colleague can select a view?
Not sure I understand that.
Ikunis, why don't you go ahead and clarify what you're asking?
Oh, so like you're giving permission to another user to edit your scene for maybe a set duration? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
In theory, that sounds great. In practice, I have no idea if that would work. Yeah. Just take away that multi-editor collaborative editing is, we know it's super interesting to you guys, and we would love it too because it would save us a lot of pain. I just can't speak to when, if that would land at this moment.
All right. Everybody, we've got 7 more minutes. We don't have to stay here, but what's coming up after the meetup today? I think there's an event. Oh, there's a Star Trek meetup. Right? I thought there was. Yes. We can watch the original series with Daisy Winthorpe. And then also today there's a Lucky Ducks tournament and an event hosting 101 class tonight. And this is a busy day, you guys. I'm pretty proud of everybody. Oh, tomorrow, Cass and Cherry, who are two VR content creators, are coming in and throwing a party, and they're going to be bringing their. Well, hopefully, they're going to be bringing people from their audience in. So I'd love if everybody could go show them some support, because that's how we're bringing folks into Sansar, by working with content creators and YouTubers. That's happening tomorrow. Cass and Cherry have built an entire world, so that's pretty cool. They've been taking the challenge to come into Sansar pretty seriously, and they've also made a bunch of videos which I think you all might like, and some of you have been in them. So I'd love if folks could show up to that tomorrow and show some support for Cass Cherry and introduce yourselves to their audiences, because hopefully they'll be bringing new people in. Okay. What do we got? Taz, is it possible to add a small room to try a piece of clothing before buying it, so creators won't have to fill the shop with demo clothes?
I don't know about a small room, but we've kicked around the idea of a like a shopping cart, basically, and also for Edit World too, frankly, where you could, in the character editor, like put together a whole avatar from assets you found on the store, like a hat, shirt, pants, shoes, gloves, necklace, whatever. And then once you're happy with that outfit, then you click buy, and then you own all the stuff. So you can put together your outfits. So we kicked around that idea. We've also kicked around the idea of the same notion in Edit Worlds, where you can buy scene assets, scripts, or not buy, but put them in your cart, so to speak, and build out your scene, test it, run it. And before you publish it for other people to visit, then you'd have to pay for all those assets. Again, like a broken record, but I can't speak to when those land, but they are things we're talking about.
Nice. Blush asks, any thoughts on giving creators the ability to create fat packs? I don't know what that is. What's a fat pack to sell? Blush, what's a fat pack?
Like a bundle?
Yeah, it's like a bundle. So, like, if you're selling a shirt and it's got multiple designs on it, it all comes together, so you don't have to buy each one individually. It's a Second Life thing.
Yeah, you'd literally buy like a shopping bag, and you'd res the bag, and the bag would have like 10 different shirts in it or something like that, or even a whole outfit.
Right.
Oh, I was feeling attacked by that question. Okay, FQ. What does FQ mean, Majeka? Can we have a smile emote like facial morph so we can show newbies how friendly-minded we really are?
Final question.
Oh, final question. Yeah, maybe. I don't think we have a smile in the default set. It's not to say you couldn't make one, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why can't we animate faces, Matthew asks.
I don't need a smile.
Stretch question, right?
That is a good question. Why can't you animate faces? I know that the speech graphics bones are separate from the Havoc bones, or separate from the Morph bones. That might have something to do with it.
So the face bone is not connected to the speech bone.
Right.
Dave's like, shut up. That's not.
No, I'm trying to think, like, because the face bones are part of the same skeleton, but they get overridden by speech graphics. But they shouldn't be overridden by speech graphics when you're not talking. So you should totally be able to do that. If you can't, I think it's a bug.
Oh, snap. Got bugs in our faces, guys. We need to fix that. Okay, everybody. I think we've got about 2 minutes left. I see some dots over some heads, so I hope these are good questions and can be answered quickly. I'm not trying to scare you from asking your questions. All questions are good questions. Oh, God, General Zod. Incredible time to pose that question. Okay. Zod asks, there is a problem with the material standard plus emissive plus UV animation. If I have a sprite sheet texture for the flipbook and I plug it in the emissive slot, then I want to scroll the albedo, it will also take into consideration the flipbook steps. Can you guys work on a fix to scroll the albedo without being affected by the flipbook UV frames? There is a checkbox scroll albedo, but that doesn't stop the flip boop from the emissive slot, which also affects the albedo. General Zod, the most complex question at the very last second. I love the strategy here.
Well, I don't know what we can do about the flip boop, but Dave's here, and that's right in his wheelhouse, so I'm sure.
Yeah. Hold on, let me read this question again. Plug in the
It just sounds like a bug with how the.
It does sound like a bug.
So we'll look into it.
Without being affected by the flipbook UV frames.
We'll fix the flip boop.
I honestly think that we had a blessing in disguise there by flip boop existing now. We need to just change the name.
Yeah, next update that will be the flip boop toggle.
Flip boops. Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna.
that does sound like a bug.
We're gonna eat lunch. We're gonna eat lunch. I think we're ready for lunch. Yeah, Luke's. I'm the same. I read that out loud and I knew all the words, but I don't know what they mean next to each other. I agree.
Yeah, this definitely needs the format of do this, see this, expect that, fix it.
Okay, if anybody wants to talk about their events and whatnot, you've got a bunch of people in the same spot. Shameless promotion. I love it. Go for it. The meeting is over, so I'm gonna go grab some lunch so I can watch the Star Trek with everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Internet,
Thanks,
Twitch, Steam, YouTube. We'll see you guys later. Love you.
Adios.
I don't love
folks,
you.
I
love everybody but YouTube.
I'm gonna go spay and neuter some bugs.
Gross.
Gotta fix them all.
All right.